My name is Jillian Modzeleski, and I'm an attorney with Brooklyn Defender Services, and I run the Victims of Trafficking Defense Unit. I think with full decriminalization, the fear that people have is that we're going to decriminalize trafficking. That's not the case. Full decriminalization would just allow consenting adults to sell sex and purchase sex between one another without the interference of government. So there wouldn't be laws passed that you have to be tested, or you have to sell it here, or you have to sell it between these hours, or you have to be 21 and over. It would simply be decriminalization of it, with adults being able to purchase and buy sex the way they want to. It certainly would not decriminalize any exploitation. It wouldn't decriminalize children selling sex or trafficking of children. It would just give consenting adults the ability to work the way they want to work. A lot of the judges I work with are men. A lot of the prosecutors I work with are men. I mean, I think the world of sex trafficking has been conflated with sex work, and it's just sort of a salacious topic that nobody really wants to talk about. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding out there about sex work and about trafficking. You have so many government agencies and law enforcement, spreading all these numbers and talking about, oh, there's this many women that are being trafficked, and this amount of girls are going to be trafficked at the Super Bowl. And they never justify the number. They never give us any quantification for that number. And you wonder, well, how do you know this is the amount of girls that are trafficked? How do you know this is the amount of women that are trafficked? And I think, so it's fear-mongering. People think that this is happening all over the place because law enforcement and government are able to say these numbers without backing them up. And so it's a lot of misunderstanding of that. People don't want to talk about sex, particularly in a courtroom. Courtrooms are for, not for sex and stuff like that. We go in and we explain to the judge something that we think is so obvious and so clear, that this person's a victim. They shouldn't be prosecuted. They shouldn't be put in jail. They shouldn't be forced into any type of services. And you have a judge looking back at you and a prosecutor looking at you and saying, you're crazy. She needs to go to therapy. She needs to go to jail. And it's so frustrating. Because you're like, why don't you get it? Why don't you see what I see? I think that decriminalization of sex work would really help to sort of free up law enforcement to concentrate on what is really important. A lot of times law enforcement's just like, oh, we arrested 20 prostitutes last night, so we've done our job. They're not going to talk to us. They're not going to give us any information. What else can we do? But if it's decriminalized and they don't have the capability to arrest those women, their energy, their resources have to be concentrated elsewhere, which could potentially be investigating these larger scale trafficking rings or traffickers, which I've yet to see them do.